Hey everyone, Jared here. If you're looking for a highly affordable tablet that dual boots Android and Windows, the Teclast X98 Air 3G is not only a mouthful, but a great bang for your buck. And it actually comes in a pretty attractive package with its almost all-metal body at 7.4 millimeters thin. It also has all the ports I'll ever need with support for an expandable micro SD slot, a SIM card for data, and yes, even phone calls, micro USB 3.5 millimeter aux, and micro HDMI. So now getting into the whole dual booting aspect, we'll start off with the Android side of things. Now running Android 4.4.4 KitKat, it's actually quite a basic, almost stock Android experience, with the only apparent exception being Teclast's own Android launcher, which really isn't that bad. It's another UX that excludes an app drawer, but that can quickly be resolved by installing one of the thousands of options in the Play Store. And actually, a side note, if you've read elsewhere that it's a pain to get the Play Store working on this device when ordered from other online stores, well, mine came from pandawill.com, and they take care of all that for you. Anyways, there was a ton of Teclast apps and other Chinese software apps installed, but luckily, everything I wasn't able to simply uninstall, I was easily able to disable in the app's manager, and doing so hasn't negatively affected my experience at all, so that's good. Moving into the settings continues to show evidence of the close to stock Android experience, and if you've used Android at all in the past 3 years, everything should be pretty familiar to you, but you'll notice we've got an option for Intel Smart Video. Well, that's because it's packing in an Intel Atom quad-core 64-bit CPU clocked at 2.16 gigahertz. And the Smart Video option claims to increase overall video quality by eliminating artifacts with interlaced content, as stated next to the on-off toggle. Does it work? Well, it could just be a placebo effect, but I did stare at a video for like 10 minutes until my eyes went crossed, toggling the setting on and off, and I'm pretty sure it does its job, but in more of an anti-aliasing method by slightly blurring jagged pixels. So anyways, that's the Android side of things. In a nutshell, it's a very basic and simplistic Android experience. So from here, if you wanted to boot over to the Windows 8.1 partition, all we have to do is power it off and then power it back up, which will put us into the boot selection screen, at which point we can pick either Android or Windows. Booting into Windows takes about 30 to 60 seconds, and once you're there, everything runs really well. Launching apps is smooth, multitasking is seemingly lag and starter free, and as much as I hate to say this, Internet Explorer is surprisingly the fastest of the browsers I've tested on this tablet. The only reason I still have Chrome installed is because of all the account sync options that it comes with. And of course, everything you'd expect there to be in Windows 8.1 is fully available here, just like any other Windows tablet running 8.1. So there you have it, the Windows 8.1 side of things. But now I wanted to talk about device performance. With an Intel Atom CPU with integrated Intel graphics and 2 gigabytes of RAM, the X98 Air 3G should be able to perform most of your daily tasks without a hitch when running either Android or Windows OS, but don't expect to be doing any serious gaming. However, to give you an example of what it can play, although Nova 3 isn't exactly a resource-intensive game, it does seem to run okay with only slight frame loss. Now, hands down, one of the most impressive aspects of this tablet, other than the cool dual boot feature, is the display. Teclast has packed in a 9.7-inch IPS Retina display with a nice and sharp resolution of 2048 by 1536 and a PPI of 264, which may not have great saturation, but makes up for it in contrast, gamma, viewing angles, as well as brightness levels, especially on the Windows side of things. It gets really bright, which is perfect for outdoor viewing, by the way. Watching videos on this thing is awesome. It produces some really nice colors, and of course, everything looks really sharp. We do have 2 cameras, neither of which I think anyone would be too particularly interested in using for much more than a quick, unimportant video chat call. The front being a 2 megapixel shooter and the rear at 5 megapixels. So battery life's been great. It comes with a huge 8500 milliamp hour battery that Teclast claims will give you about 5 to 6 hours of working time. Now, when I stress tested the battery life with Antutu Battery Tester, from 100 to 17%, it gave me a screen on time of almost 4 hours with 17% left. but with my average real-world usage, it gave around the 5 to 6 hours that was originally claimed, and sometimes even a little more. So there's a lot of great Chinese tablets out there right now to choose from, but all in all, the Teclast X98 Air 3G is honestly a really good buy for the money if you're looking for decent performance, Android and Windows OS dual boot functionality, an awesome display, and a more than adequate battery life. But if you're looking for something with top performance specs for the purpose of gaming, for example, and you're on a budget, there's plenty of other Chinese tablets out there to choose from. And while they may not have dual OS boot functionality, they will be similarly priced and provide you with that extra performance punch you need. Anyways, that's it for this one. As always, I'll have a link to pandawheel.com, which is where mine came from, for pricing and availability. And just below that, I'll have a discount code that Pandawheel hooked me up with to share with my viewers for $20 off. That'll expire in 3 weeks. If you dig these types of reviews, do me a favor and hit that like button, which is also, coincidentally, right next to the subscribe button, which you can use to stay up to date with me. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.